fast as look. Like her head was down and all of a sudden her head just went like that. She's like, they're coming. And I was like, who's coming? And she's like, they're coming, they're right there, they're outside, they're coming to me. And what's up SV squad? What's up SV squad?
Welcome back to another video. As you can see, I'm here with my sister cousins, Tua, Sia, Vainga, myself obviously, and Ossie's hiding in the back. But today we're going to be talking about story times of ghost stories, which you guys have requested so many times. We're just going to get straight into it. So we're going to start with Sia.
Well, I thought we were going to do Vainga's one first.
Go, just go, bro.
You go first.
Because your one's not as scary.
Yeah, true. Yours should be last.
Mine was going to be like...
Oh, I don't got one.
Okay,
I'll just... saying off.
when we were little, Sia and I used to sleep with our grandma, and we wanted to go to the toilet once. And like, this is back in Samoa, so keep in mind the toilet is far apart from the house. So we have to walk, and then our driveway is like next door neighbors and stuff. And there was this man, it was like, I don't know, it was late at night. There was this man, he was like,
this was like around like 2 in the morning.
It was a ghost.
No, it's so
it is a man. It's actually a man. Like, he lives next door to us.
Oh. What?
No.
Oh, was it?
No.
Oh, grandma said that.
He looked like he was like dressed up as the guy that used to live.
Oh, that used to live
passed
there.
away. So grandma said that he looked exactly like the man that used to, the old man that used to live next to our house. So my grandma held our hands and she was like, to this one, whatever you do, don't look at the man, like don't look back. So me and my grandma were walking forward, like towards the house, and we went to turn around, and this loser over here was like fully staring at stupid ass.
This is not supposed to be a funny story.
I know, it's just funny because he's so dumb, like after telling you not to look. And so she looked, and then the fire got like really big, like the fire got big and the man just disappeared. Anyways, we didn't make a big deal out of it. We thought, like, I thought it was a normal, like a human just doing their fire in the middle of the night. And then we woke up in the morning and she was like sick as, like, she was hot.
That was hot.
Not like that. We're cutting this story out, lad.
Like, she was hot. And I figure of someone that used to live there but passed away ages ago, and I got really sick in the morning, and yeah,
she got possessed, they call it. So yeah, that's our first story. I hope you all scared. No one's scared.
Okay, I'm going to tell my short story. So a lot of our stories are actually short, except for one story that we have planned. I'm sure that we have so many, but we just can't think of them at the moment. And there was one story, it didn't really involve me, but it was about someone that I'm related to. And we all went to Samoa this one time. It was like in 2000. So this person that we went with, so many bad things started to happen to him, like supernatural things started happening when we first got there. We had planned to go for 2 months. I think it was about 3 months. It was like almost for the whole of the Christmas holidays. But basically, when we would sleep at night, weird things started happening to this relative of mine, especially when he would sleep. He told us that sometimes when he was walking at night with our cousins, he would see things in the dark that they couldn't see. He would see people in bushes that they couldn't see. And there was one time at night where we were all sleeping, and he was sleeping on a fala, which is like those woven mats made out of the leaves. He was sleeping on those mats, and there were so many times where he would wake up at night, and I don't know what it is, but Samoans, when they start like feeling like
something
mangiki or whatever, like when you feel like
when your body's making
when you're shivers, like when the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, all of a sudden Samoans just start swearing. I don't know why they do that.
They
like,
think it casts out.
yeah, that's their belief behind it. And then as we were sleeping this one night, the mat just started folding on its own, and he started screaming, and I was still sleeping. And my dad woke up, and then I suddenly woke up because everyone was making such a big fuss. But basically, we didn't see it because by the time everyone woke up, the mat was lying down again. But he said that his body was like folding, and nobody was there. But he said somebody was folding the mat together. Yeah, and he woke up swearing because people told him, like my cousins told him, if he wakes up, if he sees things, and just starts swearing. So he started swearing, and that was before we came to Christ, because you know the name of Jesus is above all names, and we should have used the name of Jesus, but we didn't know at that time. But basically he just started swearing, like saying, okay, whatever. And my dad jumped up, and then like everyone, he was telling them what was happening, and we started to get scared. Like we didn't know what to do, we didn't know how to stop this, and my parents were getting really worried that we actually put our flight forward than we initially expected. And then like he said, that same night when everyone said go back to sleep, my dad ended up sleeping with him, next to him that night. My relative said that when he fell back to sleep, he said he heard a voice say to him in Samoan, wait till you fall asleep, I'll come back and get you. Weird things still happened after that. He felt like tugs on the mat. As time went on, they took him to so many witch doctors and all of that, and they kept saying, you know, these old people are curious of him, and that's why these things keep happening to him. And then we took him to the doctor because his leg he started limping on his leg. Got to a point where he couldn't walk on it anymore. And then they went and did an x-ray on his foot, and they seen that there was like a tooth that was this big inside his foot that was just suddenly appeared in there, and he had to cut it out. So, and I remember being at the hospital, and I just heard them screaming like so loud, and it lasted for like an hour. Yeah, and then we didn't go back to Samoa for like a long time because of that.
My mom's cousin used to live with us. Like they lived with us for a bit, but she was like pregnant, and you know like how Samoan people would feel pregnant.
Okay, so my mom's a cousin that came down from Melbourne to stay with us in this house. She was in the middle of like something was happening with her marriage and stuff, and then her husband was still up in Melbourne, and her family and his family like weren't really
getting along.
Yeah, and so apparently like they believe that his past like ancestors, the people that died, were coming to get her for trying to leave him. She just found out that she was pregnant when she came here. Anyways, one night we were all up,
we were
all straightening our hairs.
Us girls
being fierce. And yeah, so it was like around 12, like midnight, and we're still up, you know, playing our music, and it wasn't even that loud. And like our room is over here, and then the room she was staying in was just here, so like we would have heard something. And the back door is just around the side of her room. And then I started getting like really bad headache, like when after straightening my hair, I was sitting there and I just had this really bad headache, and I was like, wait, something's like, and then my ear started ringing. Like about 5 minutes after that, we heard a massive knock at the front door, so we all like rushed, and all I heard was my mom coming out, started swearing, like she was just like,
because she was
swearing at every single door and window.
Before that,
she was in front of my mom and dad's room
crying.
Yeah, crying. She said,
but no one heard her.
Like yeah, no one heard her, and she was explaining to us that, oh, I'm Sia, I came behind like the window of your room, I've been screaming your name.
She saw you and dad at the front row.
Yeah,
that's what she asked.
She's like to me, Sia, why, like she was like, why didn't you help me, like why weren't you coming to get me, like they were taking me, you didn't even come. And I was like, what? And she was like, I came behind your room and I've been screaming your name for ages, like no one came to help me, and then this old lady just came and threw me inside the front door. She apparently was being dragged on the road
because her socks were ripped,
and they kept punching her stomach, like they kept hitting her stomach because they knew she was pregnant. And so she came in, and my mom was sitting her down, like what happened. And like when she was in my mom and dad's room, like in front of my mom and dad's room, she said she was trying to reach for the door, but this shadow was just blocking it, like she couldn't, until my mom heard someone crying. Then my mom just walked out of the room and she was literally lying down there, had leaves all over her hair, like that she's been outside, like she just had leaves, and she was wet. She said that she was sleeping and someone just came and dragged her out off her bed while her kids were sleeping, and took her through the back door, like, and the back door is so loud, like you can hear it open and close, but we didn't hear anything. So that's like the scary part about it. Anyways, she said she got dragged behind and then through the gate, and our gate's got like massive padlocks because we're there.
So I don't know how that
I don't know how she got to the front. She said her legs just started, like her legs were like being lifted off the ground, like someone was just dragging her by her hair. Said she couldn't see anyone but a hand. Anyways, yeah, my mom went and started screaming and swearing
and getting all of us.
Yeah, and then she came into our room and she was like to us, "Get out of your rooms!" And then we all came out of our room. We were like, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, you start swearing in the back door." No, I said, "Start swearing in the back door." And then like we were praying, and then this voice behind us was just saying like you know, some words. But anyways, after that we did a local, then we all slept in the same room, and like I slept by the door, and I was literally like, even though I had like heaps of blankets, my body was still so cold, like I could feel my toes were gonna fall off. Yeah, that was a scary night, and I never wanna go back to it.
How long ago was that?
It was like in the middle of last year.
We're gonna do a prayer after this.
And our last scary story, this one.
These two were just for decoration.
Yeah.
I thought.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Nonsense. We were all sleeping in one room, and we were sleeping at the back room, like near, and like at the back of our house is like this massive grave, like gravestones of like I think 6 people, and so we were all sleeping,
and they're randoms as well. Not everyone.
Yeah,
is like
they're not our family.
Yeah, it used to be like a cemetery.
There's only one person there that's our family,
and then the rest is just random people. This relative of mine was sleeping on the side of the window where it was cracked, and then the rest of us girls were sleeping on the other side. And I woke up to people praying, like my cousins praying, and the relative that was possessed I'd say was hitting me, like she was hitting me like right on my hip, like she was just like hitting me and making these really weird noises, like she sounded possessed. I was trying to act tough, like getting up and praying like I wasn't even scared, but really my fatu was like falling down. I was so scared that night, but I was trying not to show it, because if I was scared then the rest of the little girls were gonna get scared. And so we were all like, we all linked our hands, and we started speaking in tongues, like we just started praying. And then this relative of mine was under the table where our stuff were. She was like legit like under the table, and it was so dark. She had the cloth over her head, and she was just like, "Oh, if you don't come to me right now, there's a massive centipede that's like legit like coming to me." And I was like, "Where is it?" She's like she was just like under the table, it's like really big. So after we prayed for our relative, we thought like everything was like calm, you know, we're preparing to go back to sleep because it was still early in the morning. This relative of ours, like she just got up and she was like, "I need to go to the toilet." And we have a bathroom like inside the house. We have a bathroom just down from where our room is, like you can just walk straight and you'll see it. And then there's a sliding door to go outside, like to the back toilet, which is like in the dark, kind of the bush area. So we were like all lying down. We're like, okay, she's just gonna go to the one like just across from the room, but we were wrong. We heard the sliding door like open, and so we all got up in the same at the same time. We were all rushing out, and we thought she took some kind of torch or something with her, like turn on the lights or something. No, she straight walked up to the back bush bathroom with nothing, like with no lights, no phone. She just walked, no shoes, And so we all like went with her, obviously. So we came and she was in the bathroom, like in the toilet, and we were all standing there and we legit opened the door because we didn't want anything to happen to her. And so we were like, oh, there's nothing to be scared of about, like there's heaps of us. And then the relatives just like looked straight up, like it was like this fast ass look, like her head was down and all of a sudden her head just went like that. She's like, they're coming. And I was like, who's coming? And she's like, they're coming, they're right there, they're outside, they're coming to me. And I was like, we were all scared and we started screaming.
Wait, pause. So the relative was in the toilet, but there was also another door that went into the toilet, if you know what I mean. The house door.
There's a house, right? And then when you enter the door, like into the house, this side has the toilet, this side has a shower. So the toilet door was open, but the door for the house was closed. So the door was closed the whole time, and this relative was like, they're here, they're coming to me now. Like she was smiling, and I was like, well, who's here? She's like, you'll see them, they're here. So my little cousin, the youngest, pushed the door open. We all saw a massive white dog, and the tail was the longest. I'm telling you, if you see, like, it's not an ordinary dog. Like normally if you see a dog like in the dark, it's white, yeah, you could see it, but it's not a glowing white, you know what I mean? Like it was massive, and the tail was so long, and the whole time it was walking past, like it was walking right in front of the bathroom, and the head was just facing us the whole time. So we were like freaking out. We were just like, to all of the girls, like, do you see that? Like, do you see that dog right there? And the remaining two other girls were like, what are you talking about? You're crazy, like we don't see a dog. But the rest of us saw the dog, including the relative that was like in the bathroom. Like she was just like, oh, finally they're here to take me. Like what? The dog went around and then onto the gravestones that were next to our room, and then around to the sliding door where we entered into the house. So we didn't leave the bathroom until we saw the dog gone. But yeah, so we got in again in the house. We all did one last prayer together before we went to sleep. And then I had a really bad dream because our village by is haunted. Rock pool, yeah. They believe that it's haunted, and that's why my parents are always telling us not to go swim in it, but we still do. Anyways, there was a man there. I remember that day before it was nighttime and this relative got sick. There was a man there. His hair was white and he was really like dark skin. We told our relative, like, stop being noisy, like it's a Sunday. And she was just being noisy, and this man just kept staring at us. Like kept staring, like he kept shaking his head, like at everything that my relative was doing. Like she was disobeying every rule of the vibe. Like anyways, and I had that dream, that flashback dream when I fell asleep that night after we prayed. I had that same dream, and like I thought that was the man that came to her.
Whoa, that was some intense stories, guys. Feel a little bit tingly. So we thank you guys for watching. We hope we gave you some goosebumps, some tingles, some hair sticking up on the back of your neck. We love you. Make sure you like this video and
share it, comment, and subscribe.
Comment, subscribe.